Before we begin, I invite you to listen with an open heart and a quiet mind. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to be present in this sacred moment, where heaven's gentle whisper is reaching out to you. There are moments when the weight of unseen battles presses heavily upon our shoulders. We carry scars of old wounds, reminders of times we faltered or felt helpless. Sometimes, the armor we once wore to protect ourselves has become a prison, trapping us in cycles of doubt and weariness. The shadows of past failures and lingering fears can make us question whether we are truly cared for, whether help is near enough to reach. It's as if an invisible tide pulls us further from the strength we once knew, leaving us vulnerable and uncertain. In these quiet struggles, we may feel the burden of responsibility too great to bear alone, as if we're fighting a battle with no end in sight. Yet, even in these moments of quiet despair, a presence watches over us, kind, unwavering, full of love. It's as if the divine is gently leaning in, softly calling us to remember that we are never truly alone in this fight. Something sacred is stirring, awakening hope in the depths of our hearts, even when we cannot see it clearly. If these words are touching something within you, know that you are invited to step closer to a new beginning. Subscribe to our channel and walk with us in prayer, because every day offers a fresh chance to stand anew before what is beyond our strength. Now, let us prepare ourselves to discover what the Holy Scripture reveals about this silent struggle and the promise that can transform our view of all these shadows. What divine assurance awaits us when we open our hearts to what is yet to be revealed? Put on the armor of God before it's too late. The Word of God has something direct to say about moments like these, when we feel vulnerable and weighed down by unseen struggles. It's as if the Bible is whispering a promise that can anchor us in what often feels unstable and uncertain. One verse that speaks clearly to this is, "Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil." Ephesians 6 verse 11. Here, Paul is inviting us to see that strength doesn't come from within ourselves alone. It's about actively choosing to wear what God provides, His strength, His protection, His truth. This isn't a passive suggestion. It's a call to armor ourselves daily, knowing that life's battles are real and persistent. It's as if God is saying, you don't have to face this alone. I've already prepared a way for you to stand firm. When we feel worn out or caught in a cycle of doubt, this verse reminds us that we have access to divine resources that can shield us from despair. It's not about pretending the pain isn't real, but about arming ourselves with what is eternal: faith, hope, and His protective grace. This promise reveals that we are not powerless, even in our most fragile moments. It shows us that the fight isn't just against external forces, but also against the doubt that tries to weaken our resolve. Before we can live out the assurance that God offers, we need to recognize the importance of preparing ourselves with His armor, so that when the shadows grow long, we stand strong, ready for whatever lies ahead. This verse was not written by chance. It has everything to do with what you are feeling right now. Before we move forward, let's honestly reflect on what it truly takes to stand firm in the midst of life's battles, and how this divine armor can become your safeguard in times of need. You may be fighting an internal war that no one else sees, carrying burdens that feel too heavy to bear alone. Perhaps inside, there's a silent ache, an unspoken fear that if exposed, would unravel the carefully constructed mask you wear every day. You might feel trapped in a cycle of self-criticism, punishing yourself for mistakes you can't seem to forgive, hiding behind a facade of strength while inside, you're trembling. There's a loneliness that whispers you're not enough, even when outwardly trying to appear okay. Sometimes it feels as if the pain is too deep, too raw, to be understood by anyone, maybe even by yourself. You hide your doubts, your shame, and your weariness behind closed doors, convinced that vulnerability might make everything worse. But the truth is, what you carry inside is known to God, and He has seen every tear, every silent cry, and every moment of despair you try so hard to hide. You are not alone in this silent struggle. God's gaze is fixed on you, full of compassion and unwavering love, even when you feel unworthy of it. If this truth is touching hidden areas of your heart, and you want to sow into this ministry that reaches you deeply, consider leaving a super thanks with a generous offering. Your seed allows us to continue bringing healing and truth to more people every day. And know that, in this fragile place, God's divine response is already beginning to take shape, ready to meet you in the midst of your pain and brokenness. It is precisely in this place of pain that God chooses to begin healing, and now, His answer will start to emerge from the depths of your heart. Put on the armor of God before it's too late. You may look at your life and see chaos, weakness, or brokenness, that sense that everything is falling apart and there's no clear way forward. But what you perceive with human eyes is not always what God sees. While your heart feels lost in the darkness, God, the master potter, is shaping something greater than you can imagine. When everything seems out of place, He is quietly working behind the scenes, transforming what looks like disorder into divine preparation. The Lord, your shepherd, is not distant or inattentive. He is leading you through the dark valleys, where no one else can see, because that is where He mends what's broken. He sees the raw material of your pain and recognizes the depth of who you are, full of potential, waiting to be molded by His gentle hands. To Him, your struggles are not signs of abandonment, but parts of a divine process, a refining fire, a process of renewal. What appears to be delay is often His way of protecting what He is about to restore. The silence you experience might be His way of working in the unseen, preparing you for what's to come. Sometimes what looks like a final ending is actually the beginning of something new that only He can orchestrate. When you begin to see through His eyes, the perspective shifts. Your fears can start to fade because you realize that nothing escapes His notice and nothing is wasted in His hands. The next step will need your faith to respond, not from what you see now, but from what He is secretly doing in the hidden places of your life. Your divine perspective is about to be awakened, and so your heart can now prepare to trust in what is unseen. Put on the armor of God before it's too late. Now is the moment to choose to believe, regardless of what your eyes see or your feelings tell you. You don't have to be ready, you just have to be willing. Faith begins where control ends, where surrender takes the lead over doubt. This is the time to stand firm in your decision, knowing that your act of trust is not based on certainty, but on a conscious choice to believe in what is unseen. Faith is taking a step forward even when your heart trembles with fear. It's obeying what you cannot fully understand and acting in obedience before the fullness of the promise is clear. Like Abraham leaving his familiar land without knowing where he was going, or Peter stepping out of the boat onto waters he cannot see beneath his feet. Faith is a movement that defies logic and embraces trust. It is a deliberate act of releasing your grip on what you think you must control and opening your heart to what God can do through your surrender. Let go of the weight of carrying everything alone. You don't have to understand every detail or have all the answers to trust fully. Just choose to release your fears, doubts, and the need for certainty into His hands. If these words are activating faith within you, consider supporting this mission with a generous offering through the Super Thanks button. Your contribution is a seed of trust that allows us to continue spreading hope to thousands of people every day. And when you decide to trust, something invisible begins to move, an unseen shift in the spiritual realm. It is in this step of surrender that promises start to take shape and the divine begins to work in ways beyond your understanding. Trust is the key that unlocks what has been hidden and sets the stage for everything God has prepared for you. God, I'm not what I've been through. I'm not defined by my failures or my mistakes. I am a new creation, redeemed and restored by His grace. I am not the shame that tries to cling to me. I am a child of the Most High, chosen and loved. My past does not hold my future. God's purpose for me is still unfolding. I'm strengthened by His power, not by my own strength alone. I declare that I am more than a conqueror. Because of what Christ has done, I am victorious in Him. I am not lost, but guided by divine wisdom and purpose. I am called to stand, to rise, and to move forward in his plan. Nothing can separate me from his love, nor diminish what he has placed inside me. I am a vessel of his spirit, filled with his power to overcome every obstacle. I declare that I am free from every lie that the enemy tries to whisper. The promises of God are my foundation, and I will walk confidently in the destiny he has prepared. I am alive to his purpose, moving beyond the pain and into what he has prepared for me. Because when I speak these truths, heaven begins to respond, and the invisible begins to shift. The next step is already in motion. What God is doing in secret is about to be revealed. His hand is at work, even now, shaping what I cannot see. I declare that my declaration is not just words, but the beginning of what heaven is releasing over my life. Perhaps you have been waiting so long that it feels like time has stopped. Maybe the silence from heaven has become so loud that you question if God is listening at all. It may seem as if God has paused in the middle of his promise, leaving you in a quiet place where nothing appears to be happening. But silence is not absence. It is the space where divine work quietly unfolds. Sometimes, God's greatest work happens in the unseen, in the hidden chambers of your soul. What looks like wasted time is often precision preparation, carefully woven into his perfect plan. God does not waste moments of silence. They are moments of sowing, of unseen growth. He is planting roots deep in the dark, ensuring that what rises will be strong and lasting. Behind the scenes, he is working in ways you cannot see or understand. He is healing wounds that have long been buried, mending broken pieces, and blocking shortcuts that could lead you astray. He is repositioning circumstances and people around you, aligning everything for his perfect timing. While you wait, he is transforming your heart, shaping your character, and refining your faith. And what he has begun in secret is already stirring within you, preparing you for what is to come. The transformation is happening deep inside, even if it isn't yet visible to the eyes. Because while he takes care of what's around you, he is sculpting something new within you. And the work he started in the hidden place is about to reveal a new way of being, a life marked by divine timing and unseen victory. While everything around you seemed to be on hold, something has already begun to change within you. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. Deep inside, new strength is taking shape, even if it isn't visible yet. What God is forming in your heart is greater than any external shift. It is a transformation of the soul. He is cultivating patience that endures beyond frustration. He is shaping humility that recognizes its need for divine grace. He is developing a faith rooted firmly in his promises, unshaken by circumstances. He is teaching you to trust before you fully understand, to depend on his guidance even when the path is uncertain. He is softening your heart, erasing bitterness that once held you captive, replacing it with forgiveness and compassion. He is awakening a spiritual discernment that sees beyond the surface, revealing his eternal perspective. What is being built within you is a new clarity, an awareness that peace is not the absence of chaos, but trust in his sovereignty. He is revealing that true strength comes from surrender, that maturity is born from yielding to his process, not rushing to escape it. This waiting time is fertile ground for spiritual growth, a sacred space where his character is being refined in you. Don't fight what is healing you. Don't rush past the work he is doing in your inner world. Embrace this process as divine scaffolding, shaping you into who you are meant to become. And as you continue to surrender, know that what God is forming in you now is the foundation for what's to come. The next chapter is already being written, an inner transformation that will manifest in your outward life, aligning you more fully with his eternal purpose. Now, let's prepare to respond from this new understanding. Father, I come before you now with everything I carry, the doubts, the fears, the parts of me that still resist what I know you are doing inside. My heart feels heavy at times, tangled in what I've held on to, even when I see how it's holding me back. I confess that I struggle to fully release what you've asked me to let go of. Sometimes I am afraid to surrender, afraid of losing control, afraid that the pain might never end. I know I'm stubborn in my ways, clinging to what's familiar, even when it no longer serves me. I recognize my weakness and my need for your strength to truly obey and trust in your timing. Help me, Lord, to trust you beyond what I can see. Teach me to surrender my will, my doubts, and my fears. Help me to believe when everything inside me still questions. Give me the courage to let go of the attachments that keep me from your best. Help me to hear your voice in the silence and to trust your wisdom when I feel lost in the waiting. I cry out for your help to walk this path with faith, even when the road is unclear. You are patient, good, and faithful, even when I stumble. Your mercy never fails, and I know that your silence is not absence, but wisdom. I thank you for the work you have already begun in me, for the shifts I have seen, and for the hope that is alive in my heart because of your promises. I dedicate my thoughts, my emotions, and my steps to you, trusting that you are shaping something beautiful in the quiet. Now I surrender everything that still binds me, trusting that your love is greater than my fears. I choose to walk forward with you, even without seeing the full picture, knowing that your grace sustains me and your hope never fails. Leaving behind what once held you captive is trusting in the one who has the power to renew and restore. It is choosing to believe that his strength is enough and that his grace is greater than any struggle you face. If this moment of surrender and truth has touched your heart, I invite you to respond spiritually. Write amen in the comments to affirm your commitment and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And if you feel led to give a gift of gratitude and faith, click the Super Thanks button and contribute generously. Your support helps us continue spreading hope and encouragement every day. May the peace and strength of Christ be with you today and always. Walk in his authority, knowing that you are protected, loved, and called to live in his victory. Until we meet again, stay rooted in faith and keep your heart open to his transforming power.